This morning, DPS cutting senior troopers while hiring new ones. Another bad budget-cutting decision? We'll take a closer look. In Arlington, the governor won't be the grand marshal after all. The controversial MLK parade there likely a no-go. Can his opponents, though, call it a win? Two viewpoints coming up. A fight in Fort Worth over a councilman's online survey. Carrie Moon now doesn't have to make those results public. We have our own questions for him, though, in studio. And parents have known it for some time. The feds say Texas has failed students with special needs.
From WFAA TV, this is Inside Texas Politics with Jason Whiteley.
Good morning. If the governor was looking for a way to get out of that MLK parade in Arlington, he got it. The city denied a permit, saying organizers did not pay security fees. Greg Abbott was supposed to be grand marshal, but faced a lot of opposition from the NAACP and community leaders. Among them, FAYE Woolridge, a member of the Arlington Park Board. She is in studio. And joining the questioning, as always, is BUDKENNEDY of the Star-Telegram. Thanks for being here.
Jason.
Good morning.
Look, the permit was denied, Ruby?
Yes.
The parade in doubt. Is this a win?
This is a win for those persons that question having the parade. The MLK committee had already made preparations months ago, and this parade was an addendum to the plans that were already made by the MLK committee that included UTA, the city school district, the city of Arlington, and Tarrant County College.
You were adamantly against having the governor's grand marshal, right?
I was very concerned because I'd reached out to the governor and I have not heard back from him, and I think it would be a good thing for him to come if he were going to come and have communication about the concerns of the citizens. My phone does not stop ringing since it was announced, saying that why is he coming when he has put out a lot of policies that have been harmful to the people that MLK was supporting and standing up for.
What would be satisfactory in your viewpoint as far as the governor coming up to Arlington? Well,
I think it would be great for him to plan a town hall and to listen to the concerns of the citizens and then take action with the citizens' input on where we go from here.
This is the only holiday that's devoted to a man of faith, a man of deep religious faith. Why is it inappropriate for Governor Abbott to be a marshal of this parade and share in the faith and the belief in that everyone's equal in the eyes of God?
Well, his behavior has not been that way. Micah 6:8 says, what does the Lord require of us? But to do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with him. Justice has not been served so far as the black community is concerned by our governor. And so for him to come and be the marshal and be at the front of the parade and not have worked with that community on voter ID laws, on the gerrymandering, on extending the health care program through Medicaid, it's like an oxymoron.
Now, the first objection to this parade was that the business of it was shaky. It was presented by a promoter who had had some problems in Dallas and kind of came into Arlington and made some claims that really didn't pan out. But I think you were one of the first people who turned it into a political thing, saying Democrats should rally against Governor Abbott. Isn't that right?
No, I've never said that. If you watch any of my statements, I've never said that. I respect our governor. I've never politicized it. I believe that he might have been doing it because he's running for office. But my concern goes back to the fact that I was one of the first people, along with Deborah Lott, to say we needed to have MLK celebrated more than 30 years ago. So we were concerned that the spirit was being misused in this way, but we never said anything about politics.
Ruby, you called the governor's office to speak with him. His staff told you send an email.
Right.
He's busy. You said you haven't heard back just before we came on. You told me that.
We have not heard back.
Is this an opportunity to open a dialogue with the governor, or is this just going to blow over after MLK Day?
I'm going to continue to pursue a dialogue with the governor because I think this is a divine opportunity. Because remember, Martin Luther King never shied away from sitting down with people that might have opposed his views. And I think this is a gateway for us. So that's what I would be pursuing, and I'd love to have a visit with the governor and have other persons who are concerned about his policies to have dialogue and communication.
Ruby, you're running for Congress. You're one of 6 people running for the Democratic nomination in Joe Barton's seat in District 6. Wasn't it to your political advantage to rally Democrats and to rally support against the Republican in this parade?
Well, I've not ever looked at it is that I haven't rallied any particular demographic. I just stood up and said, listen, we're concerned that this person, the promoter, is bringing a governor who has not visited with us, who has not had any communication with us prior, who's not seeming to reach out to us, and all of a sudden you're going to come in the parade, drop in, and then move on. There needed to be some follow-up. There needed to be some kind of interaction. And please don't politicize it, but I have not stated anything about Democrats or Republicans. When I spoke at the press conference last week, I said I'm here as a citizen of Arlington. I never raised a voice about my race for Congress. That was not my concern. My concern was keeping the legacy alive of Martin Luther King and keeping the spirit alive. And I saw that as hypocrisy.
So what happens on Monday then, Ruby? Do opponents move on and you know, memorialize the day as if nothing ever happened?
They're going to memorialize the day, and they're going to continue to work to extend an opportunity for the governor to interact so that there can be better communication.
Let's jump back to what Bud brought up. You're running for Congress, trying to get Joe Barton's seat. You did well 2 years ago. You got 100,000 votes. Providing you win the primary, though, how do you expect to increase that this year?
Well, I've got a lot more crossover. I had crossover support last year, even against Joe Barton, and so it's only going to increase with my second run. I've got greater name ID. We're gaining more momentum, and things are really looking up. I'm picking up some independents. I'm picking up some Bernie Sanders supporters. So you'll be surprised at what we're going to do in 2018.
Let's talk about money. You ran very well last time, but Jana Sanchez is in. She says she's reporting $138,000 raised now. You reported $7,000 at the last year. How much are you reporting this time?
Well, this time we're going to be upwards of 100,000. We didn't have a complete report the last time, but we will be surprising you as to what we will have at this point. But our goal is to raise 3 times what we raised last time in the general.
Is this a traditional Democrats against a Bernie progressive kind of primary?
This is a race for the win. We're not one against the other, because we've got 5 people in the race, and 1 is a Bernie supporter, the other 4 are Democrats. But we're all running to make sure that District 6 is represented the best way it can be. And I want to improve the quality of life for everybody. That's why I'm out there.
It's been a Republican district for a long, long time. How in the world can a Democrat win it right now?
Well, if you will look at the demographics, they're changing. And if you'll notice, before our sitting congressman decided to retire, he started changing some of his policies because he was aware that the demographics are changing. That district is 55% minority.
And most of it's in Arlington, or Tarrant County rather.
Most of it is in Tarrant County. 70% of our vote is in Tarrant County.
Okay.
But that district is changing. It's just that it has been undervoting its strength.
We should say, where will you be King Day?
Where will I be King Day? I will be in 3 places. I will be in Corsicana, Waxahachie, and Tarrant County.
I'll be in Fort Worth.
Sounds good. I'll be in Dallas. Ruby Faye Woolridge, thanks for coming in today. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.